Welcome to our channel. We are so glad you found your way here. Let us help you fall asleep. Let's begin with the quiet collapse of Blockbuster, the corporate failure to adapt and evolve. Take a slow, deep breath in and release it. Even the tallest towers eventually quiet down. Tonight, we gently explore the empty boardrooms and forgotten ambitions of the past. Your mind is calm, and we are ready to begin. In 1985, two individuals established a video rental store in Dallas, Texas. This venture quickly transformed into a franchise, capitalizing on the burgeoning home entertainment market. Blockbuster gained traction, expanding across the nation with an aggressive strategy, marked by bright blue and yellow signage that became synonymous with rental culture. By the late 1980s, it had secured thousands of locations, becoming a household name. The innovative approach included a comprehensive inventory of films, catering to diverse tastes, and offering titles that ranged from new releases to classic films. Technological advancements such as automated inventory systems allowed for efficient management, ensuring that popular titles were consistently available. This responsiveness to consumer demand propelled Blockbuster to the forefront of the industry. The strategic decision to emphasize customer experience further solidified its position. Stores were designed to be welcoming spaces where patrons could browse hundreds of options. Employees were trained to provide recommendations, fostering a sense of community within these establishments. As the 90s approached, Blockbuster's dominance in the market became apparent, boasting revenues in the billions. With every passing year, it seemed untouchable, thriving in an environment ripe for video rental success. The foundation laid during this period would resonate throughout its history, marking a time when the company appeared invincible and unmatched. Expansion became a hallmark of its strategic vision, transforming local chains into a nationwide presence. This ambition was fueled by an insatiable demand for home entertainment, prompting a rapid proliferation of rental locations across the country. Each store became a beacon of the era's cultural shift, offering an extensive selection of films that catered to an evolving consumer base. It embraced not only blockbuster releases, but also niche titles, appealing to a diverse demographic. The retail environment thrived on accessibility, with locations situated in high-traffic areas. This strategic placement encouraged foot traffic and ensured visibility, contributing to a brand identity synonymous with entertainment options. Employees became familiar faces, fostering a sense of community and loyalty among customers. Promotions, special events, and membership programs were implemented to enhance the shopping experience, creating an atmosphere where patrons felt valued and engaged. Amidst this growth, significant investments were made in technology and logistics. Inventory systems were refined, allowing for more efficient stock management and supply chain operations. This infrastructure supported the rapid expansion, enabling a seamless transition from local chains to a dominant national brand. The company established itself as a leader in the industry, an emblem of modern entertainment consumption, but the groundwork for future challenges began to take shape beneath the surface of this impressive trajectory. The business model relied heavily on the rental of physical media, a strategy that initially proved successful. This approach allowed customers to access a wide array of films without the financial commitment of ownership. It created a sense of community, as patrons frequented local stores, browsed aisles, and engaged in social exchanges. Gradually, the emergence of digital alternatives began to alter consumer expectations. The transition from renting to selling emerged as a critical pivot point. While it provided an avenue for increased revenue, it also led to complications. The allure of owning a film, once a cornerstone of the rental strategy, began to wane as online platforms introduced instant access and convenience. Patrons gravitated toward systems that offered immediate gratification, leaving traditional rental models vulnerable to decline. The once bustling aisles began to echo with the absence of foot traffic, as the shift in consumer behavior became increasingly evident. Stores found themselves stocked with inventory that was less appealing to a market now demanding on-demand services. The escalating costs associated with maintaining physical locations weighed heavily on finances. As competitors embraced technological advancements, the fading company struggled to adapt to a landscape that had transformed dramatically, leaving it to grapple silently with the consequences of its rigid business model. Franchising played a pivotal role in the rapid expansion of many successful enterprises during the late 20th century. This approach allowed companies to proliferate their brand presence with minimal financial risk, as independent operators absorbed the costs of establishment and operations. Numerous organizations leveraged this model, fueling growth through a network of motivated individuals who shared the vision of prosperity. The synergy created by these franchises often resulted in a formidable market presence, where local operators understood their communities while adhering to the guiding principles of the parent company. In this environment, business practices were standardized and brand loyalty cultivated. The advantages of franchising manifested in increased revenues and an expansive reach, particularly in bustling urban centers and suburban developments. As other entities flourished through this method, the fading company initially benefited from similar tactics, establishing numerous outlets across the nation. Over time, a dissonance emerged as they failed to keep pace with evolving consumer preferences and technological innovations. While franchises continued to thrive, adapting to new markets and preferences, the organization's inability to evolve its business model hampered its potential. This stagnation became increasingly evident as competitors further exploited the advantages of franchising, leaving the once revered brand struggling to maintain relevance in an industry that demanded agility and foresight. The importance of physical stores during the 1990s played a crucial role in consumer behavior. This era was marked by an insatiable appetite for convenience, leading many to seek out the tactile experience of browsing and selecting their entertainment. These establishments became social hubs, where families and friends gathered to peruse the latest releases, share recommendations, and engage in communal decision-making. Patrons appreciated the immediate gratification that only a physical location could provide. The anticipation of finding a coveted title on the shelf or discovering a hidden gem amongst the rows of tapes and DVDs fostered a sense of connection, both to the product and to the shared experience of others. This heightened interaction defined the shopping experience and solidified customer loyalty. As foot traffic increased, these outlets thrived on impulse purchases. The ability to physically engage with merchandise encouraged consumers to spend beyond their initial intentions. This phenomenon was particularly pronounced within retail environments that offered a wide selection and knowledgeable staff who could enhance the shopping experience through personalized recommendations. Nevertheless, the rise of digital technology began to alter this landscape. E-commerce began to reshape expectations, gradually shifting preferences toward immediate access over the once celebrated experience of visiting a store. The transition marked a pivotal moment for many businesses. The introduction of the membership model represented a significant shift in strategy. This approach aimed to foster customer loyalty in an increasingly competitive landscape. By offering exclusive benefits and pricing, it endeavored to cultivate a sense of belonging among patrons. Many establishments adopted similar frameworks, recognizing the potential to stabilize revenue streams amid market fluctuations. This model encouraged customers to commit financially, often through annual fees, in exchange for perceived value. The promise of discounted services, early access to new releases, and personalized experiences resonated with a demographic eager for connection amid advancing technology. In this region, companies pursued the promise of a more loyal customer base, often overlooking the inherent risks involved in such a transformation. The allure of guaranteed income through memberships became a prevalent focus, prompting shifts in marketing strategies and resource allocations. Yet, despite the initial enthusiasm, sustaining this kind of loyalty proved challenging. As consumer preferences evolved, many patrons sought flexibility over long-term commitments. This reluctance highlighted the fragility of the very model that was intended to secure loyalty. The failure to adapt to rapidly changing consumer expectations became evident. As competition intensified, some businesses found themselves unable to maintain the allure of their membership offerings. The shifting dynamics created an atmosphere of uncertainty and inevitable decline. The introduction of VCR technology marked a pivotal moment within the industry. It provided consumers with the unprecedented ability to watch films at home, fundamentally altering viewing habits. This innovation initially offered a significant boost to sales, as households eagerly invested in the new format. Rental stores emerged, allowing people to access a wider array of titles than ever before, fostering a burgeoning market. The convenience of viewing films in one's living room shifted the focus away from traditional theaters. With the evolution of DVD technology, this region experienced a second wave of transformation. The compact disc format offered superior quality and extras, further enticing consumers. Sales surged as households upgraded their home entertainment systems. These developments initially appeared to bolster growth for rental businesses, which adapted to the changing landscape by expanding inventory and enhancing customer experiences. Nevertheless, this influx of home viewing options also sowed the seeds of decline. The very same convenience that had sparked growth began to erode the core business model of leading chains. As customers increasingly preferred to rent or purchase films for home use, foot traffic in rental locations dwindled. The once bustling aisles filled with eager patrons became a shadow of their former selves. This gradual shift in consumer preference underscored a growing disconnect between the evolving market and the strategies employed by established companies. The in-store atmosphere at Blockbuster once brimmed with vibrancy and anticipation. Brightly colored displays showcased the latest releases, inviting customers to explore a world of entertainment. Employees took pride in their knowledge of film history and recommendations, enhancing the experience through personal interactions. It was a place where patrons could browse aisles, discovering hidden gems while engaging in spirited discussions about their favorite movies. This engagement fostered a sense of community, as regular visitors formed connections with staff and fellow film enthusiasts alike. The design of these locations encouraged leisurely visits. Each store featured a welcoming layout with comfortable spaces for families to gather, creating an environment that transcended mere transactional exchanges. It allowed for exploration, where the act of selecting a film became almost ritualistic. The scent of popcorn lingered in the air, further enhancing the allure of a night spent in front of the television. Over time, shifts in the industry began to penetrate this once thriving atmosphere. The rise of digital streaming options introduced a new convenience that rendered the elaborate in-store experience increasingly irrelevant. This led to a decline in foot traffic, as customers opted for the ease of browsing from their homes. The vibrant ambience grew quieter, with shelves that once brimmed with options now gathering dust in the silence of fading customer engagement. The introduction of late fees represented a pivotal moment in this evolving landscape. Initially intended as a deterrent against overdue rentals, it inadvertently became a source of contention among customers. These fees, while designed to ensure timely returns and maximize inventory circulation, fostered a sense of frustration and resentment. Patrons found themselves grappling with unexpected charges, leading to a gradual erosion of loyalty. The financial strategy appeared sound on the surface. Revenue from late fees contributed significantly to profits, bolstering the bottom line at a time when competition was intensifying. This method of revenue generation, however, revealed a fundamental disconnect with consumer expectations. As digital alternatives emerged, providing greater convenience and flexibility, the rigid structure imposed by late fees began to alienate a growing segment of the market. This region, once characterized by bustling rental activity, transformed into a landscape of discontent. Customers began to seek alternatives that offered a more user-friendly experience, one devoid of penalties and restrictions. The shift in consumer behavior highlighted the growing chasm between the fading company and its clientele. An inability to adapt to these changing preferences contributed directly to a decline that would resonate throughout its future. In the ensuing years, the repercussions of this misalignment became increasingly pronounced. The competitive landscape shifted dramatically during this period, with emerging digital platforms redefining consumer expectations. Rivals in the home entertainment market, such as Netflix and Hulu, capitalized on technological advancements, offering on-demand streaming services that resonated with a new generation of viewers. This transformation rendered traditional business models, like those of the fading company, obsolete. With the advent of high-speed internet, the convenience of accessing vast libraries of content from home became a compelling alternative. Consumers began to prioritize flexibility, gravitating toward services that catered to their schedules rather than rigid rental timelines. It became evident that adaptability was essential for survival in this evolving environment. Physical rental stores struggled to maintain relevance amid the proliferation of streaming options. The loss of foot traffic was palpable as loyal customers migrated to competitors who provided instant gratification and a wider selection. This paradigm shift highlighted a stark contrast in business strategies. While some embraced innovation, others clung to outdated practices. The decline of the fading company was not merely a consequence of its own decisions, but rather a reflection of an industry that had chosen to evolve. Rivals seized the opportunity to capture market share, leaving behind empty shelves and unfulfilled potential. In this new realm of entertainment, adaptation was not optional. It was the only path to longevity. The landscape of media consumption began to shift imperceptibly at first. Innovations in technology introduced alternatives that challenged established norms. Streaming services emerged, offering convenience and immediate access to vast libraries of content. This transformation, quietly unfolding, marked the beginning of a significant decrease in traditional rental practices. The allure of on-demand viewing appealed to a generation increasingly accustomed to instant gratification. Shifts in consumer behavior became evident as households transitioned from physical media to digital platforms. People sought flexibility, favoring subscriptions that allowed them to watch what they wanted when they wanted. The once crowded aisles of rental stores began to feel desolate, a stark contrast to the era of thriving business. Customers grew less inclined to browse shelves filled with plastic cases, their attention captivated by the digital offerings available on personal devices. Data revealed a steady decline in foot traffic. Revenue reports reflected a troubling trend, indicating that the once dominant rental model struggled to maintain its footing. Executive decisions, aimed at adapting to these changes, often came too late or lacked the necessary foresight. Each passing quarter revealed deeper cracks in an already fragile foundation. The rise of digital platforms was not just a fleeting moment in time. It represented a fundamental shift in how entertainment was consumed, signaling an inevitable decline for those unwilling to embrace change. In the early days of the 21st century, one company emerged as a potent force in the realm of home entertainment. Its model centered around subscription-based streaming, offering consumers a vast library of films and television series without the constraints of physical rentals. This innovation attracted viewers seeking convenience and variety, transforming the landscape of media consumption. The introduction of this service allowed for on-demand access, enabling audiences to choose what they wanted to watch and when they wanted to watch it. This shift favored a more personalized experience, contrasting sharply with the limitations of physical rental stores. The fading company struggled to adapt, clinging to outdated practices and failing to recognize the changing preferences of consumers. As it focused on brick-and-mortar locations, the emerging entity capitalized on technological advancements, using data-driven insights to curate content tailored to viewer tastes. This strategic approach fostered loyalty and engagement, further solidifying its position in the market. The rise of this new model not only rendered traditional rental methods obsolete, but also reshaped production and distribution strategies across the industry. In the ensuing years, the contrast between these two business paradigms became stark. While one remained rooted in the past, the other flourished, paving the way for a future where adaptability and innovation dictated success. An initial response emerged from the fading company, characterized by a mix of confusion and hesitation. Leadership recognized the encroaching presence of digital competitors, but struggled to grasp the magnitude of the shift. The strategy involved a superficial attempt to adapt, with efforts focused primarily on maintaining existing brick-and-mortar stores. This approach involved minor adjustments, such as enhancing in-store experiences and introducing loyalty programs aimed at retaining customer interest. Amidst this backdrop, executives occasionally considered the burgeoning realm of online streaming. Discussions circulated about the potential of digital distribution, showcasing an awareness of emerging trends. Yet, these conversations rarely translated into significant action. Instead, the decision-making process was often bogged down by bureaucracy and a reluctance to abandon a model that had long proven successful. The corporate culture, steeped in tradition, resisted the radical changes necessary for survival. As competitors began to offer more convenient viewing options, the fading company found itself grappling with an increasingly fragmented market. Resources were allocated to fortifying physical locations rather than cultivating a digital strategy. This misalignment between consumer expectations and corporate response created a growing chasm. The digital landscape continued to evolve, leaving the remnants of an empire that was once synonymous with home entertainment struggling to keep pace. The disconnect would prove insurmountable in the years to come. In the early 2000s, a decisive move was made with the launch of Blockbuster Online, an initiative conceived to counter the encroaching dominance of Netflix. This strategic pivot aimed to embrace the burgeoning realm of digital rentals, responding to shifting consumer preferences with an online platform that promised convenience. The company's extensive library of titles was meant to attract a broad audience, appealing to both nostalgia and the desire for modern accessibility. Initial reception was tepid, as the established brick-and-mortar stores struggled to mesh with the digital aspirations of the new service. The challenges of integrating this dual model became increasingly apparent, revealing a lack of cohesive strategy. While Blockbuster aimed to leverage its brand recognition, Netflix continued to innovate, introducing streaming as a seamless alternative to physical rentals. Operational hurdles hampered progress as logistical issues surfaced. Customers faced delays and complications in shipping, undermining the advantages of online access. The cultural shift towards immediate gratification intensified the pressure on this fading company, highlighting the inadequacies of a legacy model attempting to navigate a rapidly evolving landscape. Amidst these difficulties, the competition thrived and the digital marketplace expanded. Blockbuster's efforts, though well-intentioned, reflected a misunderstanding of the market's trajectory, sealing its fate in the annals of corporate history as an example of failure to adapt. An inclination towards a burgeoning digital landscape became evident, yet Blockbuster's online strategy faltered. The company's initial foray into the digital realm, while ambitious, lacked the necessary foresight. With a focus on preserving its traditional rental model, it failed to recognize the shifting preferences of consumers who were increasingly gravitating towards streaming services. A half-hearted attempt to compete with emerging platforms, this strategy merely skimmed the surface of evolving technology. As competitors began to flourish, it became apparent that the once dominant rental giant could not keep pace. The absence of a robust digital infrastructure and a coherent vision for online expansion hindered its ability to pivot effectively. This region, historically teeming with vibrant storefronts, now stands as a monument to missed opportunities. The failure to embrace an innovative approach was compounded by internal resistance to change. Executives clung to established paradigms, believing that a return to the past could somehow restore their former glory. Lessons learned from this corporate decline extend beyond mere adaptation. They underscore the importance of recognizing industry disruptions and responding proactively. In an age defined by rapid technological advancement, the need for agility and foresight remains paramount. The experience of this fading company serves as a cautionary tale for those who underestimate the power of evolution in the marketplace. Leadership played a pivotal role in the strategic missteps that led to the decline of this once flourishing entity. Key figures at the helm made critical decisions that. A notable figure, the chief executive officer during pivotal years, epitomized this resistance to change. Under their guidance, investments in physical stores continued, while the nascent realms of streaming and digital rentals were viewed as mere fads. This fixation on brick-and-mortar infrastructure resulted in a slow erosion of market share as competitors began to capitalize on the shifting landscape. The boardroom discussions often centered around short-term profitability rather than long-term sustainability. These decisions, made by a group unwilling to embrace innovation, reflected a profound disconnect from the evolving demands of the audience. As the digital age advanced, the reluctance to explore new revenue streams became increasingly apparent. Consequently, the trajectory of the leadership decisions created a ripple effect throughout the organization, fostering an environment resistant to change. The absence of adaptable leadership. The 2004 financial crisis marked a pivotal moment for many corporations, and this entity was no exception. The ripple effects of the economic downturn penetrated its operations, revealing vulnerabilities that had long been masked by previous successes. Revenue streams contracted as consumers tightened their budgets, leading to a noticeable decline in rental transactions. Shifts in consumer behavior became evident. Individuals gravitated toward more affordable entertainment options, increasingly turning to digital platforms that offered convenience and flexibility. Storefronts once bustling with customers began to dim. This region, once vibrant with the buzz of movie rentals, saw foot traffic dwindle as competition from emerging technology surged. The allure of streaming services captivated audiences who found new ways to enjoy cinematic content without the hassle of physical rentals. The entity struggled to pivot, hampered by residual commitments to a brick-and-mortar sales model. Financial reports indicated mounting losses, a stark contrast to earlier profitability. Layoffs ensued as operational costs became untenable. The once thriving corporate structure began to fracture under the weight of unaddressed market shifts. This gradual decline was not merely a consequence of external pressures. It also highlighted a profound inability to recognize and adapt to the evolving landscape, leaving this iconic brand to confront a future increasingly overshadowed by its past. This transformation in consumer habits marked a pivotal moment for the fading company. As digital platforms emerged, they redefined entertainment consumption, favoring convenience and immediacy. Viewers found solace in the flexibility of streaming, choosing to engage with content on their own terms. This new paradigm rendered traditional rental models increasingly obsolete. With a vast library accessible at the touch of a button, the allure of physical media diminished. Customers gravitated toward online subscriptions, prioritizing a seamless viewing experience over the nostalgia tied to brick-and-mortar locations. It became evident that many were willing to forego late fees and store visits in exchange for the simplicity offered by emerging competitors. The reluctance to embrace this shift revealed deeper issues within corporate strategy. While competitors innovated and adapted, this iconic name clung to outdated practices, believing that their historical significance alone would sustain relevance. The response to technological advancements was uncoordinated and insufficient, reflecting a broader struggle to engage with a market in flux. As the digital age progressed, these changes intensified. The once bustling stores, filled with shoppers browsing aisles, became quiet relics of a bygone era. Each shuttered location served as a stark reminder of the shifting landscape, underscoring a once dominant force in entertainment now rendered invisible by its failure to evolve. An inability to recognize the importance of adaptation marked a pivotal moment in its decline. While rival companies embraced technological advancements, this fading entity clung to outdated business models. It disregarded the rising influence of digital streaming, adopting a wait-and-see approach rather than proactively engaging with emerging trends. A slow response to consumer preferences became evident as households transitioned to on-demand viewing experiences. This region, once bustling with families selecting films for their weekend gatherings, now stands silent. The aisles, once alive with anticipation, are filled with dust and memories of a bygone era. The failure to adjust pricing structures or to innovate service offerings alienated a customer base eager for convenience. Each closed store represented not just a loss of revenue, but a profound disconnect with the very audience it once captivated. In boardrooms, discussions lacked urgency, prioritizing short-term profits over long-term viability. The strategic miscalculations multiplied as executives overlooked the competitive landscape, dismissing the potential of online rental services. Instead of investing in innovation, they maintained a static approach, believing that brand loyalty alone could sustain their operations. As competitors flourished in a digital-first environment, this once-beloved name faded into obscurity, illustrating a critical lesson in corporate strategy. The imperative to adapt is fundamental for survival in an ever-evolving marketplace. The signs of decline became increasingly evident leading up to the 2005 bankruptcy filing. Store locations stood vacant, their bright signs dimming as the market shifted toward digital consumption. The once crowded aisles of rental films grew eerily quiet, with shelves lined with titles that few sought to rent. Customers began to favor convenience over the experience of browsing physical stores, signaling a profound change in consumer behavior. Financial reports revealed mounting losses that painted a stark picture of instability. Revenue streams dwindled as streaming services emerged, offering immediate access to vast libraries of content. This region, once thriving with the enthusiasm of movie lovers, now bore witness to a stark contrast between the past and present. The fading company failed to recognize the urgency of the situation, clinging to outdated practices that no longer resonated with a new generation of viewers. Employee morale declined alongside the financial figures as uncertainty clouded the future of their jobs. Layoffs and restructuring attempts became commonplace, further weakening the brand's foundation. Community events that once fostered loyalty became infrequent, replaced by a growing sense of neglect. The bankruptcy filing marked a pivotal moment, encapsulating the consequences of a failure to innovate in an increasingly competitive landscape and highlighting the fragility of corporate giants amidst evolving consumer preferences. The transformation of home entertainment technology fundamentally reshaped consumer expectations and experiences. The emergence of digital streaming services disrupted traditional models, offering immediate access to vast libraries of content. This shift reflected a growing preference for convenience and personalization, with viewers increasingly seeking tailored viewing experiences. Technological advancements played a critical role, with improvements in internet speeds and the proliferation of smart devices facilitating the rise of streaming platforms. These developments enabled consumers to watch films and television on demand, eroding the relevance of physical rental services. The introduction of high-definition and ultra-high-definition formats further enhanced the viewing experience, encouraging a migration away from conventional media. In this environment, the fading company struggled to maintain its foothold. Its reliance on brick-and-mortar stores became a significant liability as foot traffic diminished. Inventory management systems, once effective, lagged behind the rapid pace of technological change, leading to inefficiencies and missed opportunities. As competitors embraced digital strategies and developed robust online platforms, the gap widened. The inability to pivot and invest in emerging technologies illustrated a broader trend in corporate decline, where established entities faltered under the weight of their own legacy systems. This evolving landscape underscored the necessity for adaptability, with failure to respond serving as a stark reminder of the relentless march of progress in the entertainment industry. The miscalculation of market trends became evident as consumer preferences shifted toward digital streaming. While it remained steadfast in its brick-and-mortar model, the fading company underestimated the allure of convenience offered by emerging platforms. A growing number of individuals began to favor the ability to access content from the comfort of their homes, negating the need for physical rentals. It became increasingly clear that traditional video rental stores could not compete with the immediacy and vast selection provided by streaming services. The decline of foot traffic in these establishments illustrated a profound disconnect between the company's strategy and market demands. Despite initial successes, complacency grew within the corporate structure, leading to an inability to pivot toward digital innovation. This region, once bustling with customers selecting movies, witnessed empty aisles and shuttered storefronts as the transition unfolded. Executives clung to a model that had served them well for decades, dismissing the rapid rise of competitors. As subscription-based services flourished, it became apparent that their reluctance to embrace change crystallized their fate. In hindsight, the failure to recognize and adapt to the digital revolution not only diminished market share, but marked a profound cultural shift within the organization. Resistance to new ideas permeated the atmosphere, stifling innovation and impeding growth. Leadership clung to long-established practices, often dismissing the necessity for evolution. Internal dialogues revealed a deep-seated comfort with the status quo, where traditional rental models were perceived as steadfast and reliable. Amidst this stagnation, employees struggled to align with emerging consumer preferences. The disconnect between management vision and employee engagement became increasingly evident as they grappled with the shifting landscape. The customer's desire for convenience and immediacy went unaddressed, leading to a detrimental misalignment between operational practices and market demands. This reluctance to pivot was further compounded by an organizational culture resistant to risk. Initiatives aimed at modernization faced skepticism, often met with inertia rather than enthusiasm. Employees were left to navigate a landscape that seemed to evolve without their involvement, creating a chasm between aspirations and reality. In the shadow of competitors who embraced digital innovation, the fading company found itself increasingly isolated. The inability to foster a culture that encouraged adaptability. The attempt to rebrand manifested in various new store formats and offerings, signaling a desire to capture a shifting market. Locations were redesigned, featuring sleek interiors and updated technology aimed at enhancing customer experience. These changes included the introduction of a wider selection of merchandise beyond movie rentals, such as video games and collectibles, in an effort to appeal to a broader demographic. Despite these efforts, the allure of physical stores diminished as consumers gravitated toward digital platforms. The new offerings, while innovative, were often met with skepticism from loyal customers accustomed to traditional rental experiences. In this region, competition intensified as streaming services proliferated, providing instant access to media without the need for physical interaction. The rebranding initiatives failed to resonate deeply, leading to a disconnect between the evolving consumer preferences and the company's strategic direction. Staff training focused on customer service improvements struggled to keep pace with the rapid changes in technology and viewing habits. Although some locations experienced brief spikes in foot traffic, these moments proved fleeting. The allure of the modernized stores faded as the overarching trend toward digital consumption became increasingly pronounced. This dynamic illustrated the challenges of transformation amid a landscape that was swiftly moving away from analog experiences, leaving these once bustling hubs eerily quiet. The marketing strategies employed by the fading company reflected a mix of innovation and miscalculation. Early campaigns captured the essence of community and nostalgia, emphasizing the local store's role as a gathering place. The bright blue and yellow signage beckoned customers, creating a sense of familiarity and comfort. Promotions such as the Blockbuster night encouraged families to engage in collective viewing experiences, solidifying its position as a leader in home entertainment. Yet beneath these surface successes lay a growing disconnect with evolving consumer preferences. A failure to embrace digital trends eroded its market share. While competitors adopted streaming models, it clung to traditional rental practices, unaware of the seismic shifts taking place. Attempts to pivot toward a digital platform arrived too late, marked by a lack of understanding of the changing landscape. The advertising budget, once robust, dwindled as revenues plummeted. The allure of physical rental stores diminished, leading to a gradual decline in foot traffic. Customers began to favor convenience over nostalgia, seeking instant access rather than the experience of browsing shelves. Promotions that were once effective failed to resonate with a new generation of viewers accustomed to streaming services. This misalignment became increasingly evident as competition emerged in the form of Redbox. A shift occurred within the rental market, characterized by the introduction of automated kiosks. These self-service machines provided convenience, allowing customers to rent physical media without the barriers of membership fees or late fees. This innovation captured the attention of the consumer base, which gravitated toward affordability and ease of access. The presence of Redbox marked a turning point. The once dominant rental chains struggled to comprehend the changing dynamics of the industry. The simplicity of a kiosk contrasted sharply with the elaborate rental processes still in use. Customers found themselves drawn to the efficiency offered by this new competitor, which operated with minimal overhead. As Redbox proliferated, its influence extended beyond mere convenience. It reshaped consumer expectations, emphasizing quick transactions and seamless experiences. The rental giant, on the other hand, continued to cling to its legacy business model, unable to pivot toward a digital future. While one entity embraced the spirit of innovation, the other remained tethered to outdated practices. The financial repercussions were profound. revenues began to decline, and store closures became increasingly commonplace. Left in the wake of this rapid evolution was a fading company, struggling to redefine its identity in an industry that had swiftly moved on. A gradual decline in foot traffic marked the beginning of a prolonged period of uncertainty. Storefronts, once vibrant and bustling with patrons, began to show signs of abandonment. Shelves that had once been stocked with the latest releases stood eerily empty, as the selection dwindled to a mere fraction of its former glory. Disenchanted customers wandered the aisles, searching for a sense of nostalgia that had become increasingly elusive. As the years progressed, store closures became routine, each shuttered location echoing the loss of community engagement. This region, once a hub for cinematic gatherings, now bore the scars of corporate miscalculation. These ruins of commerce reflected not only the struggles of a brand, but also shifting consumer habits that favored convenience over the experience of browsing in store. Employees, once proud ambassadors of the brand, faced uncertainty in their jobs. The final days of each location often unfolded with a quiet resignation, as inventory was sold off at deeply discounted prices, marking a somber farewell. Each closing announcement reverberated through neighborhoods, signaling not just the end of a retail space, but the fading of an era. This dissolution of physical presence underscored a deeper, systemic failure to adapt. The echoes of laughter and excitement that once filled these spaces faded into memory, leaving behind an indelible sense of loss. Declining customer engagement ushered in significant financial repercussions. Revenues dwindled as loyal patrons, once drawn to the allure of cinematic experiences, turned to alternative forms of entertainment. The consequences were immediate and unrelenting. A once thriving empire now faced mounting operational costs, exacerbated by the necessity to maintain vast physical locations. These properties, with their expansive interiors and numerous screens, became liabilities rather than assets. Amidst this backdrop, layoffs commenced. Employees were released from their positions, their contributions to the company's legacy overshadowed by the pressing need to curb expenses. The emotional toll was palpable as experienced staff members departed, taking with them institutional knowledge that could not be easily replaced. This exodus further weakened the organization, creating a cycle of instability. Compounded by increased competition from streaming services, the financial strain deepened. Market share eroded as consumers opted for the convenience of home viewing. The once proud brand struggled to secure financing as investors grew wary of the shifting landscape. Stock prices plummeted, reflecting a crisis of confidence in leadership's ability to navigate these turbulent waters. Asset divestitures became necessary, often at reduced valuations, leading to a diminished presence in the industry. The fallout from customer loss was profound, shaping the narrative of a once dominant entity now grappling with its own obsolescence. The relevance of physical media began to wane as digital platforms surged in popularity. This shift sparked a fundamental transformation in how consumers accessed entertainment. While streaming services offered convenience and a vast array of choices, the allure of tangible items remained for a segment of the population. Collectors, in particular, found value in owning physical copies, which retained a nostalgic significance. Despite the ubiquity of digital formats, the remnants of this once thriving industry lingered in the shadows. Retail spaces, once bustling with activity, now featured shelves lined with DVDs and video games, their presence a testament to a bygone era. Customers would occasionally wander through these aisles, drawn by the comforting familiarity of the items they had grown up with. This attachment to physical media provided a glimmer of hope, yet it was constantly overshadowed by the relentless advance of technology. The decline of rental services did not erase the emotional connection many held to their favorite films and shows. It merely underscored the struggle of an industry unable to pivot effectively amidst changing consumer preferences. The tension between nostalgia and modernity persisted, leaving a fragile legacy in a world increasingly dominated by streaming. Each remaining store became a relic, embodying the remnants of a cultural shift that had irrevocably altered the landscape of entertainment consumption. Intellectual property played a pivotal role in the decline of this once dominant entity. The potential for licensing agreements and original content creation remained largely untapped. Despite the existence of a wealth of recognizable titles, they failed to leverage their extensive catalog into a robust streaming model. Competitors adeptly navigated this shift, offering exclusive content that captivated audiences' attention. A missed opportunity lay in the transition from physical rental to digital platforms. The evolving technological landscape presented an array of possibilities, yet the decision-makers remained anchored in traditional business practices. While others embraced the digital revolution, they hesitated, clinging to the familiar confines of brick-and-mortar stores. The reliance on outdated revenue models contributed to a gradual erosion of market share. Despite the value of their brand, those in charge underestimated the importance of adapting to new consumption patterns. The inability to invest in innovative technologies showcased a profound disconnect with the changing preferences of consumers. As competitors capitalized on the rise of streaming services, the fading company found itself increasingly isolated. Their intellectual property, once seen as a cornerstone, became a shadow of its former self. Revenue dwindled, and the cultural relevance diminished, leaving behind a legacy that served as a cautionary tale of missed chances within a rapidly evolving marketplace. Licensing agreements, once a pivotal element of the corporate strategy, began to falter as the industry landscape shifted. Initial arrangements allowed for a steady stream of popular films, ensuring customer satisfaction and repeat business. Over time, however, it became increasingly clear that these agreements were not designed to adapt to a changing environment. The hesitance to innovate and embrace digital distribution options resulted in a reliance on traditional physical rentals. This stagnation inevitably led to an erosion of market share. Competitors like streaming services emerged with flexible licensing models, providing instant access to vast libraries of content. This shift rendered the old agreements obsolete, highlighting a critical miscalculation. The inability to renegotiate contracts or pivot towards emerging technologies further compounded the problem. While Blockbuster's licensing strategy once appeared robust, as competitors thrived by embracing digital transformation, the fading company remained tethered to antiquated practices. The slow decline became evident, not just in financial terms, but also in consumer perception. Each closed location served as a reminder of what was lost and what could have been achieved. Lessons from these decisions underscore the necessity for flexibility and responsiveness within a volatile market. Decisions made at the highest levels reverberate throughout the organization, shaping the very essence of its culture. A rigid hierarchy emerged within this fading company, stifling creativity and discouraging open communication. Employees found themselves navigating a landscape where innovation was not only undervalued, but often met with skepticism. This environment fostered a sense of disillusionment, as bright ideas were overshadowed by bureaucratic processes. In this region, morale began to decline as management prioritized immediate financial outcomes over long-term vision. A culture of fear replaced one of empowerment, leaving many to question their roles and contributions. The once vibrant sense of community eroded, and collaboration was sacrificed on the altar of control. These decisions created silos, isolating departments and hindering the flow of information. As the company struggled to maintain relevance in an evolving market, talented individuals departed, seeking opportunities in more dynamic environments. The The loss of skilled personnel further compounded the challenges faced, as new hires often lacked the historical context and insight necessary to navigate the complexities of this industry. Shareholders began to exert increasing pressure on management, demanding short-term gains over long-term stability. This shift in focus led to decisions driven by immediate financial returns rather than sustainable growth. The prioritization of quarterly earnings reports fostered a culture of reactive rather than proactive strategies. It became evident that shareholder expectations clashed with the need for innovation and adaptation. These external influences reshaped corporate priorities, often at the expense of investing in new technologies and market research. The pursuit of rapid profit maximization resulted in stagnation. Resources that could have been allocated to diversifying offerings or enhancing customer experiences were redirected towards satisfying shareholders. This reactive posture left little room for the experimentation necessary in a continuously evolving marketplace. Amidst dwindling revenues and changing consumer preferences, communication with shareholders became increasingly fraught. Discontent grew as stakeholders questioned the effectiveness of leadership. In this environment, decision-making became risk-averse, further sealing the fate of the organization. The long-term vision became obscured by the immediacy of financial reporting. The interplay between shareholder desires and corporate strategy contributed significantly to the decline. As the focus shifted from fostering innovation to appeasing immediate demands, the once thriving entity struggled to maintain relevance. In the end, these decisions reflected a broader, systemic issue within the corporate framework. The emergence of new consumer preferences marked a significant turning point in the landscape. Convenience became a paramount factor, driving choices that favored immediacy over engagement. This shift meant that many customers began to prioritize ease of access to entertainment rather than the richness of the experience itself. It was a gradual transition, one that unfolded quietly yet irrevocably, reshaping the industry. Companies that once thrived on the allure of in-store experiences found themselves grappling with the implications of this new reality. The allure of browsing aisles filled with physical media began to fade, replaced by the allure of instant gratification offered by digital platforms. It became increasingly clear that customers sought not only variety, but also the freedom to enjoy their selections at their own pace from anywhere. Streaming services capitalized on this change, providing vast libraries accessible at the click of a button. The former stalwarts of physical rentals struggled to maintain relevance as they attempted to reconcile the contrasting values of convenience and experience. As the landscape shifted, it became apparent that the fading company could not adapt swiftly enough to accommodate this evolving consumer mindset. The once familiar storefronts, filled with eager customers, became empty shells, echoing the losses from missed opportunities to innovate and respond to the demands of a changing market. The importance of data could not be overstated in a rapidly evolving marketplace. Analytics emerged as a crucial tool for businesses, offering insights into consumer behavior and preferences. This company, however, failed to seize these opportunities. While competitors embraced data-driven strategies, it clung to a traditional model that depended on instinct rather than evidence. The metrics that indicated shifting trends went unnoticed, as leadership remained anchored in outdated practices. A reluctance to adapt to digital innovations stifled potential growth. Instead of harnessing data to inform decisions surrounding inventory, pricing, and customer engagement, they found themselves reacting to changes rather than anticipating them. In a landscape where streaming services gained traction, these missed analytical insights resulted in a disconnection from their customer base. Understanding viewer habits through data could have facilitated timely adjustments to their offerings, yet the company chose to maintain the status quo. Operating on outdated assumptions, it disregarded the fundamental shift in how consumers accessed entertainment. The failure to employ analytics resulted in a gradual decline, with each decision further distancing it from relevance. As the digital age flourished, the absence of informed choices sealed its fate, leading to the inevitable closure of many locations, leaving behind an echo of what once thrived. The legacy extends beyond mere business metrics, embedding itself within the cultural consciousness of an entire generation. It served as a communal hub where individuals gathered to share recommendations and experiences. The vibrant blue and yellow signage became a beacon in neighborhoods, signifying not just a store, but a collective cultural ritual. Those shelves, once filled with titles of every genre, represented the democratization of film access, allowing countless viewers to explore cinematic worlds previously unavailable to them. This cultural phenomenon fostered an appreciation for film as an art form, providing a platform for independent filmmakers alongside blockbuster hits. The weekly ritual of selecting a film for a family movie night became a cherished tradition, imbuing the experience with a sense of anticipation and excitement. The once familiar aisles echoed with laughter, debates over which movie to choose, and the rustle of plastic cases. In many ways, this fading company shaped the landscape of home entertainment, influencing how films were consumed and marketed. The rise of streaming services may have eclipsed its physical presence, yet the imprint left on the industry is undeniable. A certain nostalgia lingers in the collective memory, reminding many of simpler times when the act of selecting a movie was a cherished event, weaving together families and friends in shared experience. The fading company embodies a unique case among corporate failures, mirroring the trajectories of other once mighty enterprises. Competing against the relentless tide of technological advancement, it faltered in the face of changing consumer preferences. Similar to the rise and fall of Borders, which underestimated the digital shift toward ebooks, it failed to recognize the potential of streaming technology. While Borders opted for an expansion of physical locations, the fading company clung to its brick-and-mortar model, distancing itself from the evolving landscape of home entertainment. The decline resembles that of Kodak, which, despite pioneering digital photography, remained entrenched in the production of film. This reluctance to pivot. This region, filled with empty storefronts, serves as a physical reminder of lost opportunities. Once bustling with families eagerly selecting films, these spaces now echo with silence, illustrating the consequences of a failure to adapt. As competitors like Netflix emerged, embracing innovation and shifting distribution models, the fading company's resistance solidified its fate. What remains are remnants of a bygone era, a cautionary tale of stagnation amidst a rapidly evolving marketplace. Lessons drawn from this decline resonate, urging vigilance against complacency in the corporate world. The economic downturns experienced in recent decades have significantly shaped corporate viability, imposing stern challenges that many entities struggle to navigate. Market conditions deteriorate, leaving vulnerable companies to contend with diminished consumer spending and a tightening of financial resources. This region, once vibrant with bustling commerce, now reflects the stark contrast of shuttered storefronts and vacant office spaces, remnants of a bygone era of confidence. As financial pressures mount, the strategic responses of leadership become crucial. Some organizations adopt reactive measures, slashing budgets and downsizing their workforce, while others seek innovative pathways to sustain operations. The latter, however, often falter under the weight of outdated models and rigid structures, rendering them ill-equipped to pivot in response to shifting economic landscapes. It becomes apparent that adaptability is not merely a desirable trait, but a necessity for survival amid adversity. In this environment, companies that once flourished may find themselves unable to respond effectively to the rapid changes surrounding them. The consequences can be severe. Cash reserves dwindle, credit sources tighten, and investor confidence wanes. Those who once commanded market share begin to fade into obscurity. The rise of social media reshaped the landscape of consumer engagement. Platforms emerged as vital channels for communication, allowing individuals to share experiences and opinions instantaneously. This phenomenon altered purchasing behaviors, where recommendations from peers gained precedence over traditional advertising methods. Businesses found themselves navigating a new reality, one in which brand loyalty could be easily swayed by a viral post or a trending hashtag. In this environment, the fading company struggled to maintain relevance. Its marketing strategies, once effective in a more static media landscape, were rendered ineffective against the swift currents of social interaction. Consumers began to voice their preferences and grievances publicly, creating a space where transparency dictated brand perception. The once cherished image of quality and reliability became susceptible to scrutiny and critique. This evolving dynamic presented challenges for established giants. They grappled with the task of responding to the rapid dissemination of information while attempting to preserve their legacy. An inability to adapt to these new communicative norms resulted in a disconnect with a generation of consumers who preferred authentic engagement over polished corporate messaging. The gradual decline of the company was not merely a consequence of competing products, but a reflection of its failure to recognize the profound impact of these digital platforms. The landscape shifted beneath them, leaving behind remnants of a once dominant presence. New technologies emerged, reshaping consumer behavior and preferences. Competitors recognized the significance of digital platforms, swiftly adapting to the demands of a changing market. This region witnessed a marked shift as streaming services gained traction, offering convenience and accessibility that traditional models struggled to replicate. They capitalized on the advantages of instant content delivery, allowing viewers to curate their experiences without the constraints of physical media. Innovative companies embraced digital strategies, investing in user-friendly interfaces and extensive content libraries. They understood the importance of personalization, utilizing algorithms to recommend titles tailored to individual tastes. This approach fostered loyalty and engaged audiences in ways that static rental systems could not. Aggressive partnerships with content creators enhanced the value proposition, leading to exclusive releases that attracted subscribers. These entities thrived by anticipating consumer needs, leveraging data analytics to refine their offerings continuously. Marketing initiatives shifted from traditional advertising to targeted online campaigns, fostering deeper connections with potential customers. Amidst this evolution, the fading company struggled to pivot. An inability to recognize the urgency of adaptation resulted in missed opportunities as competitors surged ahead. The disparity became evident as digital platforms flourished, leaving behind a legacy burdened by outdated practices. This decline was not merely financial, it reflected a profound failure to embrace the future. Innovation served as the cornerstone for thriving enterprises. In the rapidly evolving landscape of the entertainment industry, it became increasingly vital for companies to anticipate changes and respond accordingly. The inability to innovate often led to stagnation, a consequence vividly illustrated by the trajectory of this fading company. Emerging technologies began to reshape consumer expectations, creating an environment where adaptability was paramount. Streaming services, utilizing the internet as a distribution channel, transformed how audiences engaged with media. This seismic shift rendered traditional models obsolete, highlighting the inadequacy of conventional approaches. In this context, the absence of forward-thinking strategies became glaringly evident. Instead of exploring new avenues, such as digital offerings or partnerships, this organization clung to outdated paradigms. Each missed opportunity compounded their challenges as competitors seized the initiative and captured market share. The repercussions extended beyond immediate financial loss. They signaled a broader disregard for innovation, a critical element for longevity in any industry. Employees witnessed the erosion of morale, disheartened by the lack of visionary leadership. The once bustling stores, now empty, served as a stark reminder of what happens when innovation is sidelined. The influence of young consumers on the entertainment landscape shifted dramatically in the early 21st century. This demographic, increasingly tech-savvy, began to favor instant access to content over traditional media formats. Their preferences prompted a surge in digital streaming platforms, reshaping how entertainment was consumed. The rise of on-demand viewing highlighted an inherent flaw in the corporate structure of fading companies, which had relied heavily on physical rental models. Young audiences gravitated toward platforms that offered personalized experiences and convenience, leaving behind the once revered giant. This shift underscored a broader trend. Adaptability became essential for survival in an evolving marketplace. The digital realm, characterized by its rapid pace and constant innovation, created an environment where legacy businesses struggled to keep up. While these companies clung to outdated methods, young consumers seamlessly embraced technological advancements. The emergence of social media further amplified their voices, allowing these consumers to influence trends and preferences on an unprecedented scale. Content became more than just a product. It transformed into a communal experience, often dictated by the very consumers who consumed it. The ability to curate choices and share opinions on platforms marked a departure from passive consumption, signaling a fundamental change in the dynamics of the entertainment industry. Those who failed to recognize this change faced inevitable decline as they watched their market share diminish in real time. The last remaining stores embodied a haunting reminder of what once was, a vivid contrast against the backdrop of a rapidly evolving entertainment landscape. Shelves that once overflowed with VHS tapes and DVDs stood sparsely filled, collecting dust as consumer habits shifted towards digital streaming. It became increasingly evident that foot traffic diminished, leaving behind echoes of laughter and lively exchanges among patrons. Employees, once enthusiastic representatives of a thriving brand, navigated a somber atmosphere. Conversations turned to whispers about the company's uncertain future, and every closing shift carried an air of finality. The iconic blue and yellow signage, once a beacon for movie lovers, now appeared faded and worn, a symbol of nostalgia that failed to draw in new customers. Even as they attempted to adapt by introducing limited online services, these efforts felt insufficient. Streaming platforms flourished, offering instant access to vast libraries without the need to step foot into a store. The stark reality of these last locations served as a testament to the inability to pivot in a dynamic market. The final days were marked by a steady decline, punctuated by the gradual shuttering of doors. Each closure represented not just the loss of a retail space, but the end of an era, echoing the silent struggle of an entity that could not evolve with the changing times. The clash of corporate cultures became increasingly evident as the years progressed. Traditional practices, once the backbone of success, found themselves at odds with modern business strategies. This region, once bustling with the hum of customers, now stood as a stark reminder of a disconnect between management and the evolving marketplace. Conventional structures prioritized inventory management and customer service, yet these foundations crumbled under the weight of digital disruption. Executives clung to a model that had served them well for decades, resisting the pull of technological advancements. They viewed streaming services and online rentals as fleeting trends rather than threats to their existence. The inability to pivot away from physical media underscored a broader reluctance to embrace change. In stark contrast, emerging competitors thrived on agility, responding to consumer demands in real time, leveraging data analytics and digital marketing to capture attention. Employees, once prideful ambassadors of the brand, found themselves navigating a landscape that felt increasingly alien. Morale waned as they witnessed the erosion of their employer's relevance. This struggle for identity highlighted a significant gap in understanding the modern consumer. An unwillingness to adapt led to the slow unraveling of a once cherished institution, revealing how rigid adherence to tradition can stifle innovation and the misalignment of corporate vision and market reality manifested in various ways, each contributing to the decline. Decisions made in boardrooms reflected a belief in the infallibility of legacy models, while external dynamics shifted beneath their feet. This disconnect became increasingly evident as competitors emerged, leveraging technology to cater to evolving consumer preferences. The failure to recognize the changing landscape resulted in a significant erosion of market share. It was not merely a question of financial metrics. It encompassed a deeper cultural stagnation that permeated the organization. Employees, once motivated by a shared vision, found themselves disillusioned by management's inability to pivot and embrace new ideas. The atmosphere grew tense as innovation waned, leaving behind a climate of uncertainty and indecision. These factors coalesced into a perfect storm as consumer loyalty began to wane. With the rise of digital streaming services and on-demand content, the once revered brand struggled to maintain its relevance. An inability to forge partnerships in an evolving ecosystem further isolated the fading entity, rendering it increasingly vulnerable to market forces. As the years progressed, the once formidable presence became synonymous with nostalgia rather than progress, a relic of a bygone era. The company's vision, once a guiding light, dimmed in the face of relentless change, marking the slow demise of what once was. Leadership changes often serve as pivotal moments in the trajectory of corporate entities. In this case, the arrival of new executives brought with it a promise of rejuvenation. Initially, the fresh perspectives aimed to reinvigorate strategies that had grown stale. However, these shifts frequently resulted in conflicting visions, leaving employees uncertain and disoriented. Within this fading company, the frequent turnover at the executive level led to an environment where continuity was sacrificed for immediate gains. Each new leader sought to impose their own agenda, often disregarding the established culture and values. This constant reshaping created a lack of cohesion, reducing the organization's ability to forge a unified path forward. As strategies fluctuated, resources were reallocated in ways that undermined long-term planning. Investments in technology, once viewed as essential for adaptation, were sidelined in favor of short-term financial metrics. This approach reflected a misunderstanding of the rapidly changing market landscape, where agility and foresight became paramount. The absence of a consistent vision stunted the company's capacity to innovate. While competitors embraced change and evolved with customer preferences, the fading company became increasingly irrelevant. The leadership's inability to nurture a sustained strategic direction not only hindered growth, but also led to a growing disconnection between the organization and its audience. The once thriving brand now stood as a cautionary tale. The psychological impact of brand loyalty on consumer behavior played a significant role in the decline. For years, it cultivated a deep-rooted connection between customers and the brand. Familiarity bred comfort, leading many to overlook its shortcomings. The memories associated with it, from renting films to the excitement of new releases, formed an emotional bond that was difficult to sever. This attachment contributed to a reluctance to abandon the brand, even as alternatives emerged. Diminishing returns on investment and a failure to innovate only exacerbated the situation. Consumers who had once rallied around the brand found themselves grappling with disillusionment. The frustration of outdated business models clashed with their loyalty, creating a psychological dissonance that many struggled to navigate. The passage of time revealed a stark contrast between the nostalgia for the past and the reality of the present. As competitors adapted to shifting market demands, embracing digital platforms and convenient streaming options, many loyal patrons remained hesitant to pivot away from a familiar name. This hesitation, a testament to the power of brand loyalty. The failure to pivot marked a significant turning point for the organization. As the landscape of entertainment began to shift, a reluctance to embrace new technologies led to a gradual erosion of market position. Streaming services emerged, reshaping consumer preferences and expectations. The once ubiquitous presence of physical rental stores began to fade, replaced by the convenience of digital access. This region, once bustling with foot traffic and vibrant storefronts, became a haunting reminder of a bygone era. The allure of immediate gratification through online platforms rendered traditional rental models increasingly obsolete. Attempts to adapt, such as launching their own streaming service, were met with a lack of urgency and insufficient investment. The fading company struggled with internal conflicts and a culture resistant to change. Leadership often focused on short-term gains rather than long-term viability. As competitors swiftly innovated and captured the attention of consumers, they found themselves trapped in a cycle of outdated practices. The once iconic brand, synonymous with movie rental, became a case study in corporate inertia. This failure to pivot not only diminished market share, but also tarnished the legacy built over decades. In this relentless march of progress, a lesson emerged. Adaptability is not merely an advantage, but a necessity for survival. The landscape of commerce shifted dramatically as the rise of digital technologies transformed consumer behaviors and preferences. In this environment, partnerships and collaborations became increasingly vital for companies seeking growth. Strategic alliances provided avenues for resource sharing, knowledge exchange, and market penetration that individual entities often could not achieve alone. Fledgling firms and established corporations alike began to recognize the potential of synergistic relationships. These connections fostered innovation, enabling the development of new products and services tailored to evolving market demands. They allowed companies to leverage complementary strengths, creating a more formidable presence in increasingly competitive sectors. Collaboration often extended beyond mere transactional relationships. In many instances, entities engaged in deep, integrative partnerships, sharing risks and rewards. This approach not only enhanced operational efficiencies, but also cultivated a culture of mutual support and trust. Companies that embraced this philosophy positioned themselves to respond more effectively to market changes. The consequences of neglecting such alliances were stark. Firms that failed to adapt often found themselves isolated, struggling to keep pace with competitors who had embraced the power of collaboration. In the shadow of these successful partnerships, the declining businesses slowly recognized that their inability to forge meaningful connections contributed to their gradual descent into obsolescence. The once prominent players faded, leaving behind a cautionary tale of what could have been. Market research serves as a crucial compass for navigating the ever-shifting landscape of consumer preferences and technological advancements. A lack of attention to these insights can lead to miscalculations and missed opportunities in an increasingly competitive environment. It is essential for businesses to remain attuned to the desires and behaviors of their target audiences, adapting their strategies accordingly. In the case of fading enterprises, a failure to grasp the significance of evolving market dynamics contributed to their decline. They became mired in outdated business models, which no longer resonated with consumers. The insights gathered from comprehensive research could have highlighted emerging trends, guiding these companies toward innovative solutions and product offerings. This region of corporate history illustrates the dire consequences of neglecting consumer feedback. When preferences shifted, some organizations doubled down on their established practices rather than exploring new avenues informed by data. The resulting stagnation solidified their obsolescence. The collapse of these companies underscores the necessity of an agile mindset, one that incorporates regular assessment of market conditions. A robust commitment to research empowers organizations to pivot effectively, ensuring they not only survive but thrive in the face of change. The lesson remains clear. Without diligent attention to market signals, even the most recognizable names may find themselves lost in obscurity. The evolution of home entertainment marked a significant shift in consumer behavior and preferences. It began with the introduction of video cassettes that allowed audiences to enjoy films in the comfort of their own homes. This format brought forth a new era, as families gathered around television screens, eager to watch their favorite titles. The steady rise of this technology coincided with a cultural shift, as it offered unprecedented convenience and choice. As the years progressed, advancements in digital technology ushered in the era of DVDs. This format enhanced the viewing experience with superior picture and sound quality, alongside additional features such as bonus content and interactive menus. The appeal of DVDs was undeniable, leading to a remarkable surge in sales. Yet, as consumer expectations evolved, so too did the market. The emergence of streaming services transformed the landscape once again. This new model provided instant access to vast libraries of content, rendering physical formats nearly obsolete. The decline of DVD rentals and sales illustrated a stark change in consumption patterns, as audiences gravitated towards on-demand viewing. The fading companies struggled to adapt to this rapid transformation, unable to reconcile its traditional business model with the demands of a changing marketplace. The shift highlighted a broader trend, demonstrating the inevitability of adaptation in a fast-paced, evolving industry landscape. Blockbuster emerged in the late 1980s as a prominent figure in American retail, characterized by its expansive video rental stores that offered a wide selection of films and video games. This retailer quickly became a household name, transforming the way families accessed entertainment. The vibrant blue and yellow signage dominated shopping centers across the nation, becoming synonymous with leisure and family bonding during the weekend. During its peak, it operated thousands of locations, creating a significant presence in communities. The experience of browsing aisles filled with films evoked a sense of nostalgia that resonated deeply with consumers. It was not merely a store, it was a social hub where people gathered to discover new titles or relive old favorites. The experience offered a tactile engagement with media, fostering connections between customers and their shared interests. As technology advanced, the company struggled to transition from physical rentals to digital streaming. Missteps in recognizing the shift to online consumption marked a critical turning point. Competitors capitalized on this oversight, quickly gaining traction in an increasingly digital landscape. The once thriving retail giant now stands as a cautionary tale, its vacant stores serving as reminders of an era that no longer exists. This decline reflects the broader challenges faced by businesses that fail to evolve with changing consumer behaviors and technological innovations. Consumer feedback serves as a crucial element in the development of effective business practices. It provides insights into preferences and expectations, enabling companies to align their offerings with market demands. The absence of such engagement often leads to a disconnect between the provider and the consumer, resulting in stagnation. This disconnect became evident as society transitioned from traditional rental models to digital streaming platforms. In this landscape, evolving preferences were not adequately acknowledged. Feedback mechanisms that could have guided necessary changes were overlooked. The fading company, instead of adapting, chose to remain entrenched in long-standing practices, neglecting the shifting tides of consumer expectations. The responses of consumers to emerging technologies and platforms are pivotal. Businesses that remain attuned to these signals can pivot more effectively in response to market dynamics. Disregarding the voices of those who use their services often leads to missed opportunities for innovation. The once vibrant rental outlets stood as testaments to what happens when organizations fail to listen. This inability to act upon consumer insights contributed to the decline. The momentum of change, driven by evolving tastes and technological advancements, was not harnessed. The remnants of this once thriving entity serve as a cautionary tale of the importance of integrating consumer feedback into ongoing strategic planning. Advertising campaigns once defined this giant's ability to connect with its audience. Innovative promotions and memorable taglines helped shape public perception, showcasing a commitment to entertainment and community engagement. These endeavors reflected a deep understanding of consumer desires, yet they faltered over time, becoming increasingly disconnected from emerging market trends and customer expectations. The reliance on traditional media dominated its advertising strategy, leaving little room for adaptation in the evolving digital landscape. The shift toward online streaming and digital rentals reshaped consumer habits, yet it was met with reluctance. Branding that had once resonated with millions became stale, failing to capture the attention of a generation seeking instant access and convenience. The decline reveals a critical lesson in maintaining relevance. Successful advertising must embrace innovation and flexibility, adapting to the changing moods and preferences of the audience. Engaging content that resonates on digital platforms is essential. Ignoring this fundamental shift can lead to obsolescence. These campaigns highlight the importance of not just promoting a product, but also understanding the broader context in which consumers operate. The inability to evolve in advertising efforts stands as a reminder that awareness of societal trends and technological advancements is paramount. A stagnant approach to marketing can hinder responsiveness to shifting global market trends. The emergence of digital streaming services significantly altered consumer preferences, rendering traditional rental models obsolete. This change was not an isolated incident. Rather, it reflected a broader transformation in how content was consumed across various regions. In many areas, once thriving businesses found themselves caught in a cycle of decline, unable to pivot quickly enough to accommodate the growing demand for instant access to entertainment. These companies failed to recognize that their once loyal customer base was increasingly drawn to platforms offering convenience and variety. Local markets, once dominated by physical storefronts, began to reflect a starkly different landscape. The influence of these global trends permeated every aspect of operations, from inventory management to customer engagement strategies. Retail spaces that once flourished with video game releases and blockbuster titles began to gather dust, their shelves lined with products that no longer resonated with consumer interests. As consumers gravitated toward more flexible viewing options, the fading company struggled to maintain relevance. Marketing strategies that once thrived on nostalgia and familiarity became ineffective, overshadowed by the rapid innovation occurring in the digital realm. This disconnect left many local businesses vulnerable, signaling the deep impact of the evolving global marketplace on their viability. Employee input represents a pivotal component in the construction of corporate strategy. Engaging the workforce fosters an environment of collaboration and innovation. Many organizations have recognized this, yet a significant number failed to implement effective communication channels, leading to a misalignment between leadership decisions and employee insights. In this environment, employees often possess invaluable knowledge about customer preferences, operational challenges, and market trends. Their perspectives, when actively sought and acknowledged, can inform strategic pivots that may otherwise go unnoticed. The absence of this feedback loop can create a chasm between management and the very individuals who drive day-to-day operations. This disconnect led to missed opportunities for improvement and adaptation, creating a cycle of stagnation. Employees, feeling undervalued, may withdraw their engagement, resulting in decreased productivity and morale. Without robust mechanisms for soliciting input, companies may overlook innovative ideas that could rejuvenate their approaches and appeal to changing consumer demands. The repercussions of ignoring employee input manifest in various ways, including increased turnover and diminished brand loyalty. When organizations prioritize a top-down approach, they risk alienating a critical resource. The inability to effectively revise a stagnant business model often leads to severe repercussions. This scenario frequently unfolds in environments where innovation is stifled by bureaucracy and tradition. Adapting to shifting consumer preferences and technological advancements requires flexibility, yet many organizations find themselves entrenched in outdated practices. This rigidity becomes evident as competitors embrace new methodologies, leaving those unable to adjust at a significant disadvantage. Operational structures that once supported growth may now hinder responsiveness. Efforts to introduce change often encounter resistance from within, as employees cling to familiar routines and management remains hesitant to disrupt the status quo. This stagnation fosters a culture that is increasingly disconnected from market realities. When external forces push for evolution, the internal climate remains resistant, creating a dissonance that can be detrimental. Mentions of innovation may surface in board meetings, yet the actual implementation can remain elusive. A reluctance to invest in new technologies or rethink customer engagement strategies results in missed opportunities. The reluctance to pivot. The legacy of Blockbuster's brand stands as a poignant reminder of the tension between nostalgia and practicality. Known for its vibrant blue and yellow storefronts, it invoked feelings of excitement in countless customers as they walked through aisles filled with options. Memories of Friday night movie rentals have become a cherished part of many lives, imbuing the name with a sense of warmth and familiarity. This connection to the past often overshadows the realities of its decline. Emotional attachment to this brand created a formidable barrier against the necessary adaptations that could have ensured its survival. It fostered a sense of loyalty that, ironically, stifled innovation. While competitors emerged with digital offerings, Blockbuster continued to cling to the physical rental model, reinforcing a sense of nostalgia that was not aligned with the evolving consumer landscape. The once bustling stores, now relics of a bygone era, stand as silent witnesses to an unwillingness to embrace change. Diminishing foot traffic and declining revenues reflect the practical implications of this failure. Former customers often reminisce about the experience of browsing and discovering films, yet the practicalities of modern consumption demand convenience that this fading company could not provide. The juxtaposition of heartfelt nostalgia against the backdrop of practical necessity illustrates a complex legacy, one marked by both affection and an inability to adapt. Regulatory frameworks have long shaped the landscape of the entertainment industry, influencing the trajectory of companies like this one. These governing structures often aim to ensure competition and protect consumers, yet they can also impose hurdles that stifle innovation. In this region, regulations emerged during a time when video rental was soaring, creating a delicate balance between safeguarding market players and enabling them to evolve. A notable example includes the antitrust measures that sought to prevent monopolistic behaviors, which inadvertently restricted the agility of enterprises to pivot in response to emerging technologies. The rise of digital streaming platforms introduced new competitors, reshaping consumer expectations and viewing habits. Government oversight, while intended to maintain fairness, often lagged behind these rapid shifts. This environment fostered a growing divide between traditional rental models and the flexibility demanded by a changing audience. As time progressed, the inability to swiftly navigate regulatory challenges compounded the difficulties faced by this organization. They found themselves ensnared in a rigid framework, unable to break free and explore alternative avenues for growth. The stagnation in regulatory adaptation mirrored the hesitance within, leading to missed opportunities. In a sector defined by relentless innovation, the consequences of such regulatory constraints became increasingly pronounced, leaving behind remnants of what once was a vibrant industry player. The transition from a traditional business model to a digital future posed numerous challenges, not least of which was the cultural resistance within the organization. Employees, accustomed to established practices, found it difficult to embrace new technologies and methodologies. The hesitation to adopt digital tools created operational inefficiencies, impeding the ability to respond to market demands swiftly. Leadership struggled to communicate a clear vision for this shift, resulting in a fragmented approach that lacked coherence. Strategic missteps became evident as investments in digital infrastructure were made without a comprehensive understanding of evolving consumer behaviors. This misalignment left many initiatives underfunded and poorly executed. In addition, competition from agile startups transformed the landscape into an arena where speed and adaptability reigned supreme. These newcomers capitalized on emerging technologies, further widening the gap between them and the legacy firm. The inability to pivot quickly led to missed opportunities, as consumer preferences shifted toward on-demand services and personalized experiences. Financial pressures compounded the situation, as declining revenues made it increasingly difficult to allocate resources toward innovation. The once proud brand struggled to maintain relevance in a fast-paced digital world. Strategic alliances became vital for entities seeking survival amid relentless change. This region witnessed a myriad of companies that fostered partnerships, recognizing that collaboration could yield innovative solutions and shared resources. Blockbuster's reluctance to embrace such alliances became increasingly glaring. Competitors who successfully navigated the shift to digital streaming often did so by forging connections with technology firms and content creators. These relationships allowed for the rapid deployment of new services and flexibility in responding to customer demands. Meanwhile, the fading company remained mired in outdated business models and brick-and-mortar constraints. Their attempts to diversify fell short, lacking the necessary partnerships to amplify reach and effectiveness. As new platforms emerged, alliances with telecommunications providers and internet services became essential for distribution and visibility. This dynamic landscape highlighted the increasing need for adaptability and the willingness to engage in cooperative ventures. Within the broader context, it became clear that the ability to pivot was directly linked to the strength of connections made within the industry. Collaboration not only facilitated innovation, but also provided a buffer against market volatility. The absence of strategic alliances left Blockbuster isolated, unable to harness the collective power of shared expertise. The consequences of this miscalculation contributed to its eventual decline, a poignant reminder of the necessity for adaptation in an ever-evolving marketplace. The emergence of new technologies reshaped consumer behavior in ways that were both profound and subtle. Digital streaming services began to dominate the landscape, altering how individuals consumed media. Preferences shifted toward immediate access rather than traditional rental models. This transition was not abrupt. Rather, it unfolded gradually as consumers embraced the convenience of on-demand content. The rise of smartphones further accelerated this change, allowing users to engage with media at any time and from any location. This accessibility fostered a demand for instant gratification that traditional retailers struggled to meet. With the decline of brick-and-mortar establishments, these changes highlighted a critical gap in understanding the evolving needs of the market. Innovative platforms offered tailored recommendations, creating personalized experiences that resonated deeply with audiences. This shift in engagement transformed consumer expectations, emphasizing user-centric designs over outdated business practices. The Fading Company failed to recognize the urgency of these developments, remaining anchored in its legacy operations. The disconnect between its offerings and the preferences of a new generation of consumers deepened. As its competitors adapted and thrived, the once familiar storefronts, once bustling with activity, began to stand still. This region, once a hub of entertainment, became a symbol of the challenges posed by rapid technological advancements and changing consumer demands. Customer experience emerged as a pivotal factor in shaping brand loyalty, yet it became increasingly overlooked. As the landscape shifted, expectations transformed. Consumers sought not just a product, but an experience that resonated with their values and lifestyle. In this context, the Fading Company struggled to connect meaningfully with its audience. Feedback mechanisms, once robust, fell silent. Insights into customer preferences were disregarded, leading to a disconnect that widened steadily. Competing entities began to capitalize on this gap, offering tailored experiences that addressed the evolving desires of a more discerning clientele. The appeal of convenience and personalization gained traction, leaving traditional models behind. Physical locations, once bustling with patrons eager to explore new releases, became mere relics. The environment shifted from communal enjoyment to solitary consumption as streaming platforms gained dominance. This transition further diminished the relevance of established entities that failed to adapt. Brand loyalty, once a hallmark of the corporate identity, eroded quietly as former patrons drifted towards alternatives that promised not just entertainment, but engagement and connection. The realization that empathy and understanding were essential for retention came too late. In this quiet decline, the lingering echoes of what once was served as a reminder of the importance of evolving alongside the consumer. This transformation marked the beginning of the end for an industry titan. The decline of a once mighty giant is often juxtaposed against its competitors. In this case, the emergence of Hollywood Video served as a significant counterpoint to Blockbuster's trajectory. While Blockbuster held a commanding presence in the market, Hollywood Video adopted a more flexible approach, focusing on customer preferences and regional tastes. This adaptability allowed it to capture a niche audience. Locations sprung up with a distinct aesthetic, inviting patrons to explore. This emphasis on convenience and accessibility resonated well with consumers seeking alternatives. The contrast between the two entities became stark. While one concentrated on maintaining a vast inventory and imposing late fees, the other cultivated a more customer-centric experience. Blockbuster's rigid adherence to its original business model hindered its ability to pivot effectively when digital streaming began to emerge. Early adopters of this technology found themselves favoring services that offered immediate gratification. In stark contrast, Hollywood Video maintained a fleet of stores that provided both rental and sales options, enhancing its visibility in local markets. As Blockbuster continued to falter under its own operational weight, Hollywood Video thrived, buoyed by its ability to innovate. The narrative surrounding these two entities captures a critical lesson in the importance of adaptability in an evolving landscape, illustrating the consequences of failing to embrace change. Industry trends exert a profound influence on corporate decision-making, shaping strategies and guiding investments. In the case of this fading company, the emergence of digital streaming services marked a seismic shift in consumer behavior. Viewers began to favor convenience over traditional rental models, leading to a reevaluation of existing practices. This reaction was not immediate. Initial responses were steeped in nostalgia and denial, revealing an attachment to a bygone era. The response to these trends was often sluggish, as leadership grappled with the implications of a transforming marketplace. Strategic discussions frequently centered around maintaining legacy systems rather than exploring innovative solutions. Pressure from shareholders further complicated decision-making as the focus shifted to short-term profits instead of long-term sustainability. This environment fostered a reluctance to pivot, resulting in missed opportunities for partnerships and technological investments. Competitors that embraced these changes thrived, capturing market share and redefining viewer expectations. The disconnect between awareness of industry trends and the execution of adaptive strategies became increasingly evident, contributing to a cycle of decline. The once flourishing entity found itself at a crossroads, with mounting evidence that the refusal to evolve would. Shifts in customer preferences began to emerge, with patrons favoring streaming services over physical rentals. The degradation of foot traffic in stores mirrored the decline in sales, as loyal customers migrated to more adaptable competitors. It became evident that the failure to embrace a digital model and enhance customer engagement resulted in diminishing returns. Financial reports reflected the growing disarray, revealing significant losses quarter after quarter. The once prominent brand began to lose its foothold, unable to compete effectively in this new paradigm. An over-reliance on outdated business practices hindered attempts at innovation, leaving it vulnerable to market forces. Legal troubles and mounting debt further exacerbated the situation, creating a perfect storm of insolvency. The eventual filing for bankruptcy was a somber culmination of years of denial and miscalculation. This decline, marked by an inability to recognize the value of adaptation, serves as a cautionary tale within corporate history. The remnants of this fading company now linger as a testament to the importance of evolution in an ever-changing marketplace. The role of media in documenting corporate decline has become a critical aspect of understanding business failures. Coverage often highlights the gradual shifts that precede a company's downfall. Reports, articles, and documentaries serve as chronicles, capturing the pivotal moments when decisions are made, strategies are abandoned, and opportunities are lost. In this context, the lens of media reveals patterns that extend far beyond individual failures. It emphasizes the environment in which these companies operate, showcasing how shifting consumer preferences and technological advancements can undermine even the most established entities. The narrative often shifts from mere financial statistics to the human stories behind these declines, offering insights into the leaders who struggled to adapt. Fading companies become subjects of analysis, dissected by experts and journalists alike. They illustrate the consequences of stagnation, often accompanied by a sense of inevitability. Press coverage can sometimes reflect a collective societal fascination, with failure sparking discussions about accountability and foresight. As media outlets document these declines, they contribute to a larger discourse about resilience and innovation. Lessons gleaned from these stories serve as cautionary tales for others, providing a framework for understanding the delicate balance between adaptability and obsolescence. This ongoing examination shapes the future of business, where evolution is not merely an option, but a necessity. The decline of the fading company marked a significant turning point in the video rental industry. The emergence of digital streaming services redefined consumer behavior, leading to a shift in how entertainment was consumed. Traditional brick-and-mortar establishments struggled to compete with the convenience and immediacy offered by online platforms. Consumer preferences gravitated towards limitless access, where users could browse vast libraries from the comfort of their homes. In this post-Blockbuster era, new players began to establish their presence. Subscription-based models gained traction, providing an alternative that catered to the evolving tastes of an increasingly digital audience. These models eliminated late fees and offered curated content, enhancing the viewer experience. Physical rental locations, once bustling hubs of social interaction, now stand as relics, their aisles echoing the memories of past engagements. The remnants of these stores offer a glimpse into a world that has shifted dramatically. Even as nostalgia lingers, innovative technologies continue to emerge, challenging the traditional paradigms of entertainment. Virtual reality and interactive experiences are beginning to reshape audience engagement, creating new avenues for storytelling and content consumption. The evolution of video rentals is marked by a relentless pursuit of adaptability, revealing that survival in this industry hinges on the willingness to embrace change and reimagine the viewing experience in an increasingly digital landscape. This decline reflects broader cultural shifts, showcasing society's transition from physical media to the immediacy of digital consumption. The gradual closure of locations evoked nostalgia, as empty storefronts became symbols of a bygone era, where Friday nights were often spent selecting titles from rows of colorful boxes. Popular media began to echo the sentiments associated with the fading company, evoking a bittersweet longing for simpler times while acknowledging the relentless march of technological progress. Documentaries and feature films began to explore the implications of such a decline, illustrating how the once thriving video rental giant became a cultural touchstone for conversations about innovation and obsolescence. Iconic imagery of its blue and yellow branding lingered in the collective memory, juxtaposed against the rise of streaming services, which promised convenience and choice in abundance. These narratives also revealed the complexities of consumer behavior, as viewers grappled with the loss of community experiences attached to physical rentals. The convenience of digital platforms often came at the expense of personal interaction, altering the landscape of social gatherings and shared experiences. Cultural critiques began to emerge, reflecting on how the demise of the company served as a cautionary tale for other industries hesitant to adapt, reminding society of the fragile nature of success in an ever-evolving marketplace. Lessons learned from this decline resonate through the corridors of corporate history. The inability to pivot in a swiftly changing environment serves as a stark reminder of the importance of adaptability. Strategies that once yielded success can quickly become obsolete when new technologies and consumer preferences emerge. Failure to innovate and embrace digital transformation leaves companies vulnerable to disruption. Leadership decisions played a crucial role in the unraveling of this enterprise. A reluctance to acknowledge shifting market dynamics resulted in miscalculations that customer engagement, once a hallmark of the brand, diminished as alternatives gained traction. Attention to consumer desires and emerging trends remains paramount for any enterprise seeking longevity. The lesson here is clear. Understanding the evolving landscape and responding accordingly can mean the difference between thriving and fading into obscurity. Lastly, the importance of fostering a culture of innovation cannot be overstated. Organizations that cultivate creativity and encourage risk-taking are better positioned to navigate uncertainties. The story of this once iconic establishment serves as an enduring reminder of these essential principles in the realm of business.